Well, this is the Orlando Sentinel Editorial Board meeting with Iliana Ramos Jones. She is one of the two candidates for Winter Garden City Commission in District 2. We interviewed her opponent, Ron Mueller, earlier. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Would you like to take a minute to tell us who you are and a little about your background and whatever else you'd like to say?
I'm a business owner. I own a company with my two brothers, Frank and Sal Ramos. We've been in business for over 25 years here in the Winter Garden area, and we employ over 77 people. I graduated from the University of South Florida. I'm a member of the West Orange Chamber of Commerce, as well as I'm in my second term as president of the HOA, or property OA, owners of the Industrial Park Center, where we have our business at. And I'm not a politician by career or politician at all, to say the least. So I apologize if I look nervous.
Oh, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I wondered if you could take a minute maybe to talk about, to help voters maybe understand the key differences between yourself and your opponent. In other words, what is it about you or about him that would that you think should have them come down on the side of voting for you?
So one of the big things is that I've been in the area. I've been a resident of Winter Garden for over 20 years. I've seen the transformation that Winter Garden has had, and I think has been amazing. My opponent has been here 3 years. My opponent comes to the table with a set mind and a predetermined agenda of what he wants and what he doesn't want. I believe that you need to be more open-minded. Having been in business, I think it helps to be an open-minded and kind of see project by project, issue by issue, and determine what it needs to be done before you can actually predetermine or pre-make your mind. I think those things are big issues. I think working in a cooperative way is more helpful than standing alone. Standing alone is okay if you strongly believe in something, but I think to be able to move forward, you need to be able to listen and to your constituents. In this case, I have done that with my employees, and that's how I believe we have been able to grow our company and be successful.
Could you briefly describe what your company does?
Yes, I'm a co-owner of several companies. We have several companies in the area, and we work with developers. We're subcontractors, and we do exteriors. We do drywall, framing, and the exteriors, anything that goes outside buildings, whether it's stucco, lath, stone, brick. That's our main source of income, source company.
You mentioned that your opponent has a predetermined agenda. What is that agenda?
Well, one of the things that I know that he opposes any kind of growth. He opposes anything that can change growth. And I somewhat agree and disagree. I believe that growth is imperative, it is important, but it has to be in the right way. Winter Garden is where it is right now because there was some growth. 20 years ago, you could not even stop somewhere to buy a cup of coffee because there were no places. So if we had stopped growth completely, we would be there. So I think the growth has to be very carefully planned, but it's necessary. And he's just, my feeling, I don't know that gentleman, my feeling is that he's just completely a no.
Can you think of an example, maybe even an example of where you think Winter Garden has made a mistake in terms of controlling growth? Maybe where there was a development that was approved that shouldn't have been approved, or maybe approved in the wrong fashion or something like that. Can you think of an instance where that's the case in Winter Garden?
There's a couple of instances that I don't know if they're wrong or right. I just think that maybe they should have been thought a little bit more about it. One, the apartments that are by 429, we do need affordable housing. And I know that they're far over there, and I'm glad that they're there because they're close to the highway. And affordable housing is something that's very important. And to have affordable housing and diversified the area is important. Being in the construction industry, some of my employees have to commute at least an hour to come to my office because Winter Gardens is a little bit pricey. Not everybody can afford a house. And I believe that having affordable housing is important. And I'm looking forward to seeing the final product. And when they build those apartments, they have to donate some property to create some green space around the property. I just, when you have big apartments, you always feel like they're there, but I think the end product is going to be what we need.
So was that an example of something they should not have done, or something that you're glad that they did?
I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that they did. I think we needed it. The hotel, the boutique hotel that we're doing right now, we need a hotel. We definitely need a hotel in downtown Winter Garden. Right now, the only one that we have is Edgewater, which is historical, and I personally like that place. But maybe the location of the hotel right now, I would have kind of reconsider the location, but it's definitely needed.
What do you think is the biggest challenge that faces Winter Garden right now?
Probably traffic. Traffic is one of them, and it's one that I know also that the city is working on. I think that the development at Diller Street is going to help that. I know there's several projects that they're working on right now to alleviate the traffic, but traffic and housing and parking, those are very complex issues that I think they need to be studied, and we need some good strategies. And I'm open to hear anything that someone may have and any ideas, because it's probably one of the things that's going to be the most challenging for us as we grow. I know the green spaces are also one that probably it is, but I also know that there's a lot of things in the works to create green space. There works on doing like micro parks, which will be in any spaces that are available within the community. Creating small micro parks will be something that kind of helps the immediate community, as well as Tucker Ranch, which I think is going to be an amazing park once it's completed.
I'm going to follow up on, I think you said something about green space. Do you have any specific ideas along where that needs to happen, or how it needs to happen, who should pay for it, anything along those lines?
I feel that the city should pay for it. If we allow development, I think we need to pay for it. Well, Tucker Ranch is one of them. And I know the one that's just by the apartments, and they're going towards 429. They're also donating some area that's going to be also a small park. And any space that we have right now in the area, there are going to be some micro parks. Right now, they're also going to be working on, and excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but the name is Newton Park. It's by Tanner Hall. Tanner Hall by the Lake Apopka. There's going to be also another area where they're going to develop another park right there, and it's going to be also a great park. So there's work on that. And the park, we're also they're also talking about putting between where the old packing house is. I'm sorry, I talk with my hands. The old packing house is on the trail. They're going to be doing canopy. They're going to be putting trees to create that canopy area that once was there. So they're bringing, more things. They're going to create more green to the city. I used to run in the trail park years ago. I used to run marathons, and I used to train in the trail. And I just remember running for miles and miles under canopy trees. And we lost some of them, especially between mile 5 and 10, but that's actually Ocoee area. But I would like to see the canopy trees come back.
And part of the reason I ask is that some of the other candidates we've heard from, I know in Ocoee, and I think somebody else in Winter Garden had mentioned the notion of asking some of the developments to pay for the parks themselves. I didn't know if that was something that was interested you at all.
Oh no, absolutely.
Okay.
Just like the apartments, they're going to 429, that
Right.
they donate that. I mean, if there's anybody that wants to come in the city, I think they should be the ones providing the space and the parks. But if it's something that we're creating as the city, then, I think the city board should pay.
Okay, thank you.
I know the developers should pay if they want to develop, absolutely.
Ms. Jones, I believe from remembering what our interview with your opponent, I believe he mentioned that he is in favor of some growth and smart growth and carefully managed growth. His quote, I believe, was that we don't want the city to become like Oakland or Claremont and just become overly choked with development. What is your opinion on sort of where Winter Gardens downtown stands in terms of development? You know, is it right where it needs to be? You mentioned the boutique hotel. What's the what's the proper amount of smart growth that you're looking at downtown versus neighborhoods?
So for instance, Diller Street is going to be developed, and that's going to be they're creating a 3 roundabouts, and they're going to close somewhat the road to be able to give opportunity for businesses. I think that's the right development, and I want to make sure that the businesses are unique to the area. I'm not opposed. I'm not against any big developments, as in chains, stores, or things like that. But I think this is not the appropriate area for it. I think everything has a space, and those things I don't think will go for Winter Garden, downtown Winter Garden. The apartments by 429, though they're affordable housing, and I like the fact that they created some affordable housing, I don't think they're appropriate for downtown Winter Garden. So everything has to be within the appropriate space. I would like to be able to promote entrepreneurship, small businesses. I'm a family-owned business, and I would like to be able to see things like that on Diller Street. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Diller Street, but there used to be a restaurant that the building burned down, and it was a Mexican restaurant. I'm not being biased because I'm Mexican, but it was really good. And it was the building burned down, and they have not rebuilt. I would like to be able to see a mom and pop unique restaurants, whether it's that or the barbecue place that's on 545, or the boutiques that we have. I think that will promote within the city. We have a lot of talent and entrepreneurship here in the city, and I would like to be able to give them the opportunity and help them kind of start something to that effect. That's what I would like to see in downtown.
I wanted to follow up on the question about the apartments that are being built, which you've described as affordable housing. Do you happen to know what the rents are going to be there, and do you know whether or not those are the kinds of apartments that qualify for any sort of government subsidies for people based on their income?
I'm not aware of it. I'm not sure about it, but it'll be something that we'll look into it. Definitely. I know the rents are going to be probably in the $1,200 to $1,400, and then lower amounts. But don't quote me on that because I heard that amount, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But I would definitely look into it.
Well, just to follow up on that, then, what do you think is the city's role in creating affordable housing? So, do you think the city just kind of waits for developers to come in and propose projects that they say are affordable, or do you think that there's a more active role that the city should take in promoting or even subsidizing, incentivizing, I guess I should say, affordable housing?
I think that's the way we should go. The east side of Diller Street, this needs to be rehabilitated, and the city is already working on that. And I think before we allow developers to come and just create apartments, we should start ourselves doing those things there and helping the people that already live there. I don't believe that we should just move people out. This area needs to be protected for the working class. This is not a issue of race or anything else, but I think it needs to be protected. There's a lot of people that live there. They have been there for years, and I think we need to be there, get to know them, help them out if we can, whether it's by, help them to develop like Habitat for Humanity, where they come and they remodel houses. Maybe we can create some kind of organization that can come and help the east side of Winter Garden. But I think as a city, we need to be proactive in doing that before we kind of just create or have developers come and tell us what we need. We need to work on what we need first. And if developing is, but it has to be the right kind.
Okay. Well, we're out of time. I want to thank you very much for participating. We do appreciate it, and want to wish you and your opponent best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.